This is going to be another Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution test, and I just wanted to go over that I had never seen any really, I never seen any good gold tutorials for Civ, so I decided to, hey, let me do a gold tutorial for you guys. I know a lot of people like the one with gold, who doesn't? So I'm going to go over that and basically show you a few tips that can help you out if you like playing Civ and like going for gold. Hey, you're on the right channel. We're going to do a single player game. We're not going to do multiplayer, nor are we going to play on Deity. Most of the time I'm going to be playing most of these I guess you could say, walkthroughs on Emperor, because Deity is too unrealistic to actually play and try to give, tips at the same time. They get a lot of stuff that's hidden in the game that people don't know. So before we jump into this, I'm going to start off by saying the number one Civ that I would say that can go for gold perfectly would be the Spanish, because they're 50% gold and industrial, but the beginning exploration cash double, which allows you to get there pretty good. You can do it with somebody like, say, the Egyptians, or I guess the Japanese. Some people say the Arabs, but I don't play with them, so I couldn't tell you. I mean, they start with 50% caravan gold, and eventually get the Americans bonus, which is a 2% interest on gold reserves, while also the Americans are good because they get that in the medieval, well, not medieval, ancient, never mind. What am I thinking? But I'm going to stick with the Spanish because I can really do good with the Spanish. So I'm going to show you a few advantages that you can take in the game if you ever find them or get lucky enough to stumble across them, or if you're just really good at finding stuff and knowing where stuff is. Either way, I mean, if you know that, then you probably wouldn't be watching this little walkthrough, but still, I'm going to show you this stuff.
My liege, we stand at the beginning of a new age.
It's a little neat cutscene that they do to show you up, show off the all the civs and what they do.
They look to you to guide them into the uncertain future. My liege, I believe that if we wish
after you watch it, it kind of makes you feel like you're like the leader of the Civ. That's why I like this game. You can really get into it. If you love games about going from medieval and ancient and all that stuff all the way up to modern times and industrial and all that, then you would love Civ, because it starts you all the way back at ancient. You work your way up through ancient to medieval, and then you go to your industrial, and then you go up to modern. And they have a lot of famous people that if you actually doing like history some whatsoever, then you would notice some of the people that are actually in here. Actually all the Civ leaders are actually leaders in general to the actual Civs. They were very great people. Being the Americans, Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. If you never play this game, he is the person you play with when you play Civ. So that's pretty cool how they have him in here. And they're just showing you all the stuff you can do, you can build wonders. I don't know if I've ever told you in any of my previous videos that wonders would win the game. If you can build a wonder, and you can build another wonder, and then you can build another wonder, keep going. Just don't stop. Doesn't matter if you build every wonder and don't build anything else. I mean it's impossible, but if you could, then you would be basically unstoppable. You'd be like the leader of the game. And also great people. Great people are like boost. I say wonders are your advantages while great people are your boosts, because great people give you boost and wonders give you the advantages you need to win the game. So anyway, I'm always going to say this. If you can move your city, if you can just move it up, I mean, because if you think about, look at where you start. You get, where I'm starting right now, I get 2 trees, a hill that would be good later on, so it's always good to keep hills, or if you want to build on the hill to have the, if you think somebody might attack you, then it's good to be on the hill for defense. But also, keep in mind, people online always love to attack you from seas when you have your cities undefended. So, being right here, you could actually come here and attack my city, or you could go over here and attack my city, which is really bad. And as for food, it's good to have a granary, it's always good, but in the beginning, like I said, it's better just to go ahead and move. Because look, I got another granary, and on top of that, I still got my trees plus an extra tree. I lost one food source, but I still got my granary, which is just as good as that one plus another one, basically. And I picked up a trade place. So if I ever build a trade thing, which is going to be good for doing gold, if I ever pick up a trading post, which will double that, I'm going to make it a 3. So depending on whatever it is, it might be 3, and say I get a market, then it'll go to 6. If I get a gold person, then it'll go to 12. If I get the trade fair, it should go up to like 24, but that's just as a base level, like, because you know, as your cities go up in population, which I'll show you here in a second, when you settle your city, you have a giant green number on the side of your city, which is your population level. And what your population level is basically these squares that you see, it allows you to get more of those. So I have a city level of 2. As you see, I only have 2 things that I can use, that I can move around and put them where I need to put them. I can do whatever I want with them. It's pretty cool. But as it grows, I'll get more of those. It'll go to 3, then I'll be able to use 3 of these, whereas X would actually be green, or actually on something. But anyway, it's always good to start out with production. That's just my opinion, but I think production is really good to start with because you can go ahead and get your warrior out in 3 turns, as in the game, when they start you out, they usually start you out with this, where you're waiting 10 turns for population and 5 turns for warriors. Now, you might think that's good. You might say, like, wait, you're losing your population just to get it in 3 turns, but it's just going to come back on you. That is true in some cases, but not the beginning of the game, because as you see, with 2 trees, I get I get it in 3 turns. I get 4 production per turn, so it takes 10 to get a warrior. So getting 4 per turn, that's going to add up to 12 and add the 2 over to whenever I build another warrior. So if I want to go build 2, then the next warrior I build would be in 2 turns, because you add the 8 to the already 2 that you have stored up, and that allows you to build warriors. You can build two warriors in a time that the game would allow you to build 1, but that's a different thing. So if you're thinking that you're going to lose time because you're not going for food, well, it's going to take me 3 turns to get a warrior, as to where it's going to take me 5 turns here. And that's still at 10 turns, no matter what. So, let's say I take the 3 turns, and I'm done. Now that takes away 2 extra turns that I don't need, because if I had, usually some people might actually have 2 food spots, so this would be 5 instead of 7, but this would usually be 5, naturally, depending on wherever you settle your city if you have 2 of these, but being my case, I only have 3. So, with that being said, it would have took me 3 turns just to get to 7. So really, I'm actually, I'm cutting off 2 turns. And if I had 2 here instead of just 1, it would actually take it down to 5, so I would be saving me 4 turns instead. But instead, I only have 1, so I'm saving like 2 turns. Still, it's a save as a save, because in the beginning of the game, everything is important. And if you look down here at the bottom right-hand corner, you see my time thing, which is 3,700 BC. Before it gets to 3,500 BC, I strongly suggest you get a warrior out, because if you can attack before it gets to 3,500, then you can actually attack a barb camp when it only has 1 flag, because they get 2 flags at 3,500 BC. Same for AI. They get 2 flags around 3,500 BC. So if you can, I would say try to get out there if you have somebody that can get out there fast. If not, oh well, you tried. Like me, I couldn't find anything, but hey, I still got, I got my troops out. That's all that matters. So you'll constantly see me going back here, and if you're wondering, you can click in the left stick to do this, to go to your customs, which instead, most people usually go to Manus Workers and go to custom, but instead you can just tap LB, click your left stick in, and it saved you so much time, so keep that in mind. So really, what I'm going to be doing in the beginning of the game to work for gold is I'm looking for stuff to name. I know that I stepped here, here, and here. So that leaves these 2 spots, all that's behind me, because there's always something to name around your capital. No matter what, there's always something to name, so keep that in mind. So I know that I have all these spots back here behind my capital, plus these 2 spots up here. That spot right there, like, try to map where you walk, because once you name it, then just move out like maybe 5, 6, 7 steps away from wherever you named it, and there should be something else to name. And there are some places that you can kind of remember that, hey, this usually looks like a name spot. So as you play the game, you'll notice, like, rivers that are the easy ones to notice besides hills, but mostly rivers. So really, I'm just going to try to level up my city, because in the beginning, you want to level up your city. You want to get it up to a high population so that you can actually use different squares and stuff, And look, I found a wonder that would actually help me out in getting gold, so I should really get a boat out there as quick as possible. So if I can get the gold for it, which I'm actually going to cut off my stuff and go for it, because that's a really good wonder to go for. And I should get around 20 to 50 gold from this barb camp, depending on if I'm lucky. If not, I might get a free cow. Who knows? Still lucky either way. And you see the Americans up here. In my previous video, I'm pretty sure I went over how to war the Civ that you want to actually try to I guess get some free money off of. Like, you tell them no for once, and sometimes you have to tell them twice, and twice is the max limit for online games. But offline, you can do it multiple times. Sometimes it works, but for offline, well, for online it would be 2. So do that twice, and as you see, they offer me 25 gold a piece, and look, that's just an easy 25 gold. I didn't have to do anything, and now I know that they're right there, and they have something I can steal when I get a spy. I can steal their great builder and use it for myself. A little neat trick to do if you try to get one, well, not great people easy without having culture. Just steal them from other civs. A lot of players, online players, do not keep the stuff to defend themselves from it. So that's why I constantly try to get spies out, because it's really easy to get over players, you know. But I'm gonna actually still build this second galley just because I want this one to go on the bottom path while that one goes on the top path. I'm saving myself time. And as the Spanish, you get a galleon, not a galley. A galleon, I can be the first one to find Atlantis. A lot of people say, hey, don't find Atlantis in the beginning of the game because you only get a few, like, no-name tech. That's true. I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it. I usually go for it because I know those beginning tech, I'm going to get them anyway. And it saves me time because sometimes they actually give you something you want. Like, say, if you're going for irrigation, it might give you irrigation right off the bat. So, you never know. You can steal barbs too. Barbs are your main source when it comes to the beginning of the game for every civ. Like, everybody doesn't have the Spanish where I just named that place, the new plains right there. It gave me 20 gold. Everybody doesn't have that, so if you're not playing with a civ to go for gold, then just be sure to name stuff if you, not name stuff, be sure to attack barbs if you can find them. Definitely if you can swipe them. If you can swipe one for somebody else, go for it. Really, what we're doing here is just, like I said, we're trying to move at a slow pace. We're not trying to move too fast. We're not trying to instant build anything because time really, time and gold matter in this game. Because if you waste all your gold in the beginning doing little stuff that could have took like 2 to 3 turns, but you didn't feel like waiting, then it might come to the part where you're close to, you're about to lose, and 20 gold should save your life, but you don't have it because you already spent it. So it's good to wait. Like 4 turns, it's not going to kill me, you know. And I mean, if you don't think my strategies are good, I never lose on this game. I haven't lost in the past 4 to 5 months, and I play this game every day. And I play it online constantly, and I've never lost. So, I think I do know some good strategies in this game. So, if you want to listen to my advice, go for it. If not, do what you gotta do. But it's just some helpful tips to help you out. A lot of people say that I find wonders fast, and they don't know how. As I say, like, instead of trying to rush everything, you know, go for simple stuff. Like, I'm not going to go for gold tech and population and culture at the same time plus science. It's impossible. You have to, like, go for one thing and then switch over. It's faster than trying to go for everything at once. Like, if you go for just for production, you can cut down your time by half or even more than that, depending on how much production you got. If you go for straight for science, same thing. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and switch because it's good to switch. It really is. $12 gold, but I'm not going to waste that because I might be able to get a free settler, you know? Those are good too. Now, since I got this, I can actually show you this. Monarchy is good for culture. If you love culture, it doubles your culture, so go for monarchy if you like culture. Republic allows you to build settlers for 1 population rather than 2, and if you're new to this game, usually when you build a settler, it takes 2 of your population. So if you only have a city of level 2, you can't build a settler. You have to get a population city of 3. But with Republic, if you have a population city of 2, you can actually build 1 settler and, you know, just go on for there. I don't really use this because I don't like this because it takes out my science. Like, unless I was going for all-out war and it's like the end of the game, that's the only time I would ever go to that. A democracy it's really good. Democracy allows you to get more science and gold. If you're trying to go for tech, definitely go for democracy. Same with gold, but sometimes gold can be better without going for democracy. It's all in your personal taste. And communism, that's what I use in the beginning. Most of the time I do. Like right now I'm actually going to use it because it allows me to get double my production. You know, I can get my stuff faster than most people. I now have 6 rather than just having 4, which, look, now I'm about to get my galleon the next turn. It was like 3 turns, wasn't it? Around there. You guys can rewind the video and see how much time I shedded off by doing what I just did. And also I lost a turn by going to anarchy, so with that in mind, that's pretty good. See, now I got a spy, and this is just luck. See, I don't find, it's not that I know exactly where they are. I go for barbs, and I get my boats out fast, so just in case I do find something, I can go in and take it, you know? And since they gave me a great person right now, I can just go into American City, take the great person, and just now get a new wonder if I want it. Or just increase my population. But wonders are what you want to go for, so most of that, keep that in mind, that you want wonders. I'm just gonna send him back over and get my little free stuff. And I kind of noticed that, hey, I'm on a small island with the Americans. They're probably not gonna like me too much because I usually harass the computers a lot, so they already know what's gonna happen here. And sometimes it's good to do this when I'm doing, like, I take my stuff off and move it around to see if it changes my numbers too much, or like how much does it change it by. Like usually sometimes, like, it says 1 turn. Sometimes if you take your stuff off and go over here to like food or something, it still would say 1 turn, and you're actually saving yourself a few turns on whatever you're switching to. If you got what I said about, if you got what I meant by that. Harbors are good, but I really want a wonder because now I can build this wonder pretty quick. See, 9 turns, and I can now get some culture, and culture is really good. Trust me. And mostly what I'm going to do is just go around and just find all these artifacts and, you know, build wonders as fast as possible. Now I got knights. I don't attack people because a lot of people attack when they get knights right off the back. I don't do that. I don't like attacking. Unless it's a computer, that's the only time I attack. If it's a player, I just don't attack. It takes the fun away from the game because if you take out everybody in the beginning of the game, then like, what's the point? If you think about it, you don't get anything. You don't get the only thing you can get is leaderboards, which isn't that important. It's just a game. So that's why I don't attack people. There's no point in attacking. It's just you attack when you need to, not just because you want to win. And honestly, my strategies never revolve around winning. I don't actually plan to win. I just play, and then I sometimes win. Well, most of the time, but I don't plan to win mostly. You see, look, I got barracks really quick. And I found another bard camp, so that'll come in handy. And all this stuff is just helping out. Like, all I have is 70 gold, so you might be thinking, how is this really a gold tutorial? Well, you have to be patient. If you try to go for gold in the beginning, then you're just going to screw yourself up in the long run. You want to set up your city, have everything perfect and ready for you. So when you try to go for gold, it's easy. It's not a challenge. I don't usually be in my trophy room. There's no point to me. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you might find some dancing bears or something, or like they're in tutus or something like that. I don't really remember, but I don't really go there because it's no point. I mean, you guys can go there if you want to, but I see no point to it. See, I could just go ahead and settle, but I want to see what wonders I can build because I want to go for gold, so it's better to wait, you know? Wait till I get a new city, go to somewhere where I can make a gold city, and it'll work out a lot better than just settling for 50% more in one city that might not be good. Or it might get taken, who knows? Got a new river for, I think it was 20 gold, now I'm at 90. I can go ahead and attack and overrun, I should be able to attack again. I might not be able to, it's already attacked once. Oh, no, I can. So I can easily go through there. And there's another barn. It's pretty cool right there. And I guess I'm gonna go for scout because scout is very good to have if you're attacking people. And they showed me. I really count this as a lucky game because they showed me another wonder. And this is how I usually play my games. And a lot of people ask me, how do you find wonders? And now those people can now see exactly what happens on my screen. Like, now you guys, I know the people that you know who you are. You can see exactly what I'm doing and how I'm playing to understand why I keep telling you how everything happens the way it happens. So basically what I'm trying to do with the spy is just use it to explore more. If I name something, that's awesome, but if I don't, oh well, you know, I tried. Really what I want to do is get to that artifact, so I will. I'm honestly going to leave him back there because I don't really want him that bad. I'll leave that little militia, and he could sit there and spy and see if an enemy gets a boat on my lands or something, you know. But, yeah, actually, yeah. 140 gold. I'm just trying to go around to see what's going on. You always want to pay attention. If you can, what I'm doing with my main city is really bad. Keep this in mind. Well, I mean, I do have a person to show that there's a flag, because if there's no flag in the middle of a city, that means there's no troop whatsoever in that city. So if you ever see a city that has no flag, they have a flag. But if it has no flag, then that means there's no troops in there. You can go ahead and just take it. But online, if a lot of players know that, so it's good to make sure you keep a flag or something to make a flag in your city. But still, don't do what I'm doing, using a great person. The only reason I'm doing it is because I know the computers won't attack me, and they won't kill me. Oh, well, that does happen sometimes. When you go by a barb camp, they might send a little guy out there to screw you over, but hey, what can you say? You left the guy out there openly. I'm just gonna wait it out. And when I attack that camp, what happens with that kind of stuff is they give it right back. So don't worry, they will give it back. But to me, it kind of wastes what you would have got, because you know you lost it to them. Automatic movements, I tell you. To save myself some time and go ahead and start getting some population, I'm gonna go ahead and build that, you know, and just go ahead and start with my food. Because I have no food on this city, you know? And it's not good to have a city without food. Hey, culture. That's going to help out. Really, I can't start for gold just yet. It's like, it's going to be, if you guys really want to see where my gold kicks in, I'm going to have something in the description to show you exactly where, like, what the time of when my gold actually kicks in. And then you guys can actually see, you know, you can actually see what's going on there. Like right now you can see how it starts and how your gold starts to build up. You know, what little stuff adds up. How I just used 140 gold, plus I now still have 61 gold. And guess what? I'm over in this place about to get some more gold and finding all these artifacts. I'm about to build some more wonders, you know. Because you want to build everything. Like, if you can build everything, then you're, like, if your city's maxed out, then you can work on, like, nothing but troops or gold or science. Whatever you want, I mean. And as you see, they gave me back my spy. I can use the spy right here to go in there if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I said, look, a 50 piece offering. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. So really what I'm going to do now is try to get the spy back to safety, because I don't want them to take my spy. I just got him. And why I'm settling here is because you see how I have poor food? That's because Spanish have they have the stuff that harvest wells already, which is navigation. And that comes in handy when you're trying to go for a science city. This is going to be called the Royal City. Royal because it's going to be my science. Well, my tech. Gold. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. And what I'm going to do here to go ahead and speed stuff up, not settle. I don't want to settle. East India Company is really good, trust me. It's really good to build. Now that I have that, all my C-squares are going to be 3 instead of being 2, and that's going to help out when I'm going for gold. That's 3 each. Now I just got to go ahead and start. I got to get a harbor. If I get that out there, I'm gonna be fine. You know, so Mostly I'm going to be trying to just level up my city and increase the production until I can get a harbor. This is going to be my science city, but it's going to need a courthouse to actually kick in. I'm also a trading post for there. What I'm really doing is just trying to make sure everything's alright and I haven't forgotten anything. Because it's easy to get lost when you have a lot of stuff going on. You guys should know about tech jumping if you watched my previous video. I got a lot of likes on that one, so thank you guys for checking out my tech jumping. This is why I'm doing gold, because I think that it's better that I do gold now that I did tech. And later on I might do war, and then possibly get into culture. But culture really should be self-explanatory if you watch all my videos, like after seeing me play, because I constantly do culture no matter what I do. It's just part of my play style now. You see the giant one show that nobody have the tech that I want to go for. But instead I'm going to try to tech jump to irrigation, because irrigation is always good to go for. Trust me, irrigation is amazing. And what we're doing here is trying to get all the artifacts. And then once we do that, we can get our people back to our cities and establish, I guess, a defensive place. I guess you can say that, like a defensive area, fortify or something like that. Honestly, I think I'm about done on artifacts besides, which one is it? Atlantis. And that one is really good. I'm just going to go ahead and get it because I really don't want it, nor do I really need it. So if I can find it, that'll be great. 81 gold. You see, as with the Spanish, to me, it's easy to keep money. Like, it's really easy to keep money and go for culture at the same time. Tech is, it's alright, but I don't really go for it with this Civ. It's either gold or it's either culture. So now we're going to go into the deep blue sea looking for Atlantis. And we can actually help out with this little boat that can't go into the sea, because we can do stuff like this and get little areas that we miss with the galleon that are going to, you know, in opposite direction if we can still see it with that boat. So it's not completely useless, so never sell it. Well, sell it when it's useless, but right now it's not useless, so keep in mind, just keep your boats for as long as possible. Two overruns once again. Knights really help out when you're trying to take over barbs. Instead of having to wait 2 turns and kill your troops and stuff. So look, now I think we're coming to an end on barbs, because when they start giving you horsemen, that means that you got too many barbs, or that there's not many left, or you're too far advanced. It seems that the Mongols might not be scared of us, which would be surprising. Yeah, the Mongols aren't scared of us. You would think they would be the first ones, but they're not, actually. And we found Atlantis right off. Wow, I'm kind of surprised at all the stuff I've already found.